Sorry if my showering bothered you last night. For some reason I just felt like relaxing there for a good while, letting my thoughts drift. It's all good. I try to keep my mask neutral. If she knew what had gone through my head last night, what would her first reaction be? Right, well, I'm off to work. See you later. Then it hits me. If I ever find out, I think there'd be no going back. It'd be my back against the wall. Later. You're both to take a vacation for a week starting now. That means no more cases during this time. Enjoy some time off. What, already? But why? Did we do something wrong? If you had, you'd know. Trust me. No, you see, I'm taking a week off, and there's no one else to babysit you, so you're also taking a week off. It's very simple. Is it paid? Of course not. That's too bad. What, you trying to sour the mood before my vacation already? Pipe down, kiddo. Nah, enjoy. You too. That's all for today. Thank you for coming in, and see you next week. Good job on your first two cases, by the way. Keep it up, and you'll be promoted to Emerald in no time. Well, at least one of you. This pasted-on, cheerful act is totally unlike Isabel, at least the Isabel we know. Severine's got a tinge of disgust on her face, likely thinking the same thing. Enjoy. A week with more spare time. I wonder what I shall spend it on. Butter or games? Or perhaps me. Just kidding. Unless... Cute, but I don't think my body could tolerate being in your vicinity even a little bit longer. I really should keep a Geiger counter around. I seriously worry about my health sometimes. I'm allergic to your smell, your touch, your thoughts, your words, the sight of you. A Geiger counter? So you're saying I'm so hot you can't handle the heat I'm radiating? No, in fact, you're just toxic. That's a weak comeback. Did I just score my first point like ever? You're weak. Yeah, I definitely scored one. Shut up. Now I'm worried about you too. You never let me get one on you. Are you coming down with a cold? The flu? What makes you think I didn't let you get one on me out of pity? Maybe I'm worried about you. Maybe I'm afraid you'll drop dead of one of these days. Maybe I thought I'd let you feel good about yourself for a second. Getting ceaselessly pounded by someone as myself can't be good for your self-esteem. Ceaselessly pounded, huh? You sure have a way with words. But I see. Thank you for your generosity and all that. You are very welcome. After all, you are my dear partner. No, wait, pet. As well as an inferior being. I shall remain merciful to those who don't know any better. Right. We lock eyes, then we laugh. That reminds me. If you play nice, I might have something interesting we could do. Now that we have some time off, if you'd like. With that, she had my attention. And just like the man from the last case had described things, many scenarios ran through my head. She wouldn't say what it was, but she told me a place and a time, and the lack of information and mystery surrounding it made it all the more interesting. "1 hour until I'm to meet her. She'd been particular about clothing for some reason. Don't dress too formally, she had said. Before then I have to grab something small to eat, shower, and get dressed. It's definitely doable. Unless something, or someone, gets in my way. So, what are you up to?" "Going somewhere with Severine. We're now on vacation, apparently." "Somewhere? That's vague. You're never vague with me." "Well, it's because I don't know where we're going. She didn't say." "So, a mystery date." "You mentioned the word date first, not me, or her for that matter." "I don't think it's a date." "Well, even if it was, and even though I'd be a bit jealous, I'd be rooting for you. I'd also give you this." Grace holds out a tiny square package. It's instantly recognizable. "You're really doing this, huh?" "As any responsible parental figure would. Don't get her knocked up." I awkwardly grab it out of her hand and put it in my wallet. "So it is a date. A steamy one." "No." "Then why'd you grab it?" "I don't know, because you offered it to me." "Keep it. Maybe you'll get to use it someday." "Yeah, whatever. Time is ticking. Can I pass already?" "Of course. Give her my regards." "Sure." So where are we going? Because it's not a date of some kind. I know Severine too well for that. She'd be very vocal about it if that was the case. Whichever it is, my interest is piqued. The mysterious way in which she worded it got my brain running wild. And whatever it is, I know it'll be good, because Severine wouldn't leave me hanging for something mundane, or so I'd like to think. You gonna stand there with your mouth ajar looking like a dumbass all day or what? Just get in already. The perfect air in here is leaking out. Before me is a sight I never could have imagined. Where do I begin? The car, her style, my rapid heartbeat over how cool she is? Is this what it's like to fall for someone? This is your car? Nope, it's one of my dad's. But since he's never home, I can use it however I want. One of them, huh? So we really do have a rich bastard's daughter on our hands, huh? I'm not surprised, but seeing those suspicions be proven right and materialize before me is something else entirely. Like I said, the air is getting in. Finally. Why now? Why now what? The car, the showing off. What if it's really that simple? I wanted to show off. Then I wouldn't believe you, because you don't feel like you have anything to prove to anyone. Well, you're not wrong about that. The reason is the simplest. I thought it'd be more comfortable. Or would you rather use the sweaty, stinky bus? Because I can drop you off right at the next bus stop if you want. I'm good. No need for threats. Okay, so enjoy the ride then. I nod, and then I do exactly that. She operates the vehicle with the smoothness and finesse it deserves. Her movements are precise and efficient. I still haven't asked where we're going. Even if I did, I'd doubt I'd get an answer, so I'm taking her advice and trying my best to relax and enjoy the ride to the fullest. I occasionally sneak peeks at her face. Her expression is blank and pure, the default. And to me, that's her best face, her most beautiful one. The car runs smoothly on the well-maintained road under it. I realize our destination the moment we exit the city. The vast highway stares at us. For normal people, it really only leads to one place I know of, and that'd be the beach. The beach, huh? What? How did you know? Just a guess. An educated one, I guess. You could at least pretend to be surprised. Oh, okay. Wow, the beach. I never would have thought. Too late now, knobhead. And oh, I hope you brought swimwear. Or alternatively, be fine with skinny dipping. Why would I have? You didn't say where we were going. Then an alert from her car system goes off. You have on... Severine instantly hits the cancel button on her car's touchscreen, interrupting the message. As I was saying, I hope you don't mind skinny dipping. That's just unfair. I bet you brought yours. Of course. Also, what was that about? What? The system alert. Oh, nothing. It just does that sometimes. It's true, the speed she reacted at sure made it seem like muscle memory was in place. But yeah, it's not any beach, it's the best one in Inray. She shifts around awkwardly for a bit. Unfortunately, I think we'll have to reschedule. I just remembered something important I have to do. Are you giving me a rain check on our first date? I mean, if damaging my confidence is your goal, you're doing great. Yep. Also not a date. Sorry, rain check? Sure. She makes an illegal U-turn, the car screeches, and now we're headed towards the city once more. Why did you mirror this, like... This makes no sense to me, man. I hope that's actually taken out when they get to the finished game, because that's bad. Really sorry. It's fine. Her face is expressionless and cold. It does make me wonder what could possibly be so important she would immediately drop our little excursion like this, but I decide not to think more about it. She drops me back off right where she picked me up. There it flips again. So maybe that actually was a genuine mistake. I'll make it up to you, okay? I'll see you soon. Sure. With that, she drives off into the distance. Despite her apologies, I can't help feeling a little cheated. I really had looked forward to this. At least now I know where she wants to go, and if I'm tactical, I'll be able to tell where when I should bring my swimming trunks. I decided to just head back up to my room, not really feeling sociable enough to seek out someone to hang out with. The book sounds great to spend my time with until Grace is home from work. I like living with Grace, but being home alone is amazing too. I think we have a good thing going on. We're both living lifestyles that fit us. There are all kinds of perks with having a roommate, or a guardian, which I suppose Grace's official title is. We take turns shopping, cleaning, and cooking. I won't deny it, it's also economically beneficial for me to live with her. She easily makes enough to sustain the two of us, and isn't afraid to share her rather hefty salary. Lies, teachers do not make that much. I like that about INRE. I feel like we're a unique country in how we reward teachers and healthcare employees for choosing an honorable path. They feel more appreciated for choosing such professions, and it benefits us as a country too. What's not to like? So real quick, if you're wondering about the healthcare employees, that's referencing to how some nurses are criminally underpaid. And in some cases, doctors too, if you know how the whole malpractice racket works. Anyway, I guess I should do some homework too. There's a seminar tomorrow. We might have escaped work for now, but there's still school. Wonder if Severine studied for it, with whatever urgent matter came up and all. I rarely see her study, and I do wonder how she manages to juggle all the things seemingly going on in her life. School, the Lorelei, her side job, and whatever has her attention now. Sometimes I feel like she's a bit too cool for me. It makes me wonder why she chose to be my friend. I try not to dwell on these thoughts. They're rarely productive. Things are the way they are, and asking myself why won't tell me at all. I'm glad I met her, though. She's made my life so much more fun and eventful. The next morning. So if that lawnmower doesn't cut off, I'm actually going to stop the recording soon. Don't give up just yet. Morning, Severine. One of the many perks of having such unique hair is that I can spot her from anywhere. She turns around. Oh, it's just you. Well, good morning. You in a bad mood? I'm in my usual mood. Somehow I get the impression she's not, but being nosy is seldom rewarded with her. Alright. Let's sit down. There's still some time before the seminar. She doesn't reply, but we go sit down in an empty classroom. Are you prepared? Not exactly. Yes, I was experimenting in the test kitchen last night. I lost track of time. You have a test kitchen in your flat? Well, of course she does. It's next to my flat. It's not as extravagant as you may think. Sure, alright. I don't believe her. Well, I'm prepared, but I'd like to look through my notes for a bit if you don't mind. Why would I mind? Right. I take the document prepared for the seminar out of my bag and stare at it carefully. I've circled a few keywords and phrases along with some facts that may help me out. I looked it over carefully yesterday, so I should get out of the seminar unscathed. Severine has placed her hands in her lap and is staring straight forward. Today's seminar will touch upon some of the possible effects of 2018 from a sociological perspective. Soon a few minutes have passed and we're moved into the seminar room. I sit down next to her. The chairs around the table are starting to become occupied. Soon is fully seated, barring one spot. A casually dressed professor comes in and closes the door behind him and sits down at the short side of the table. So, real quick, just the way the room is laid out, I've only had one class in my entire college career that was in a room this small, and that's because there were like 6 of us there. I've never seen one. I don't know if this is like the norm in Europe, or if it's just something weird for the game universe. His hair is wild and dark, yet gray in places if you look closely. Yeah, if you were my professor, that'd be all white, just saying. That can be a little stressful. A little. Hello everyone, I'm Professor Jones. I'll be your seminar leader for your first term here. Can we call you Indy? Today I'm giving you free reins, almost. Tell me, why did you become sociology students, and what does sociology mean to you? Do you even know what sociology is? And tell me about anything else you might feel is important, perhaps with regards to the internet reformation. Sometimes questions like these are much harder than very specific ones. So hopefully this is the last interruption, but just to throw out a quick comment. I had to take one sociology course while I was in college, and the teacher was a die-hard communist. And I'd like to say, if you think of the caricature of the communist teacher in a college campus, this guy fit that sucker to a T. And of course it bled into the lectures. The discussion starts off slowly, with most people simply nodding and agreeing. Then the room goes quiet, seconds pass, and the tension rises. So I'm curious. Suddenly every single look in the room is directed my way, or rather in Severine's way. How many of you used Facade Book before summer break? In a second flat, every hand except mine shoots up. I feel strange. Daily. Not a single hand is lowered. That's what I thought. How many of you have over 100 friends on Facade Book? Again, not a single hand is lowered. Now be honest. How many have you seen more than just a couple of times? How many of you have seen more than a couple of those friends over summer break? Almost all the hands are lowered. Would you say more than a handful out of those 100 actually know you? No hands are raised. Thank you for answering my questions. There's some kind of energy in the room, as if people would like to chat between themselves, but due to the nature of a seminar, everyone remains quiet. Interesting, very interesting. What's your name? Severine. Alright, Severine. Tell me, why did you choose to pose those specific questions? She doesn't answer him immediately. I was curious. About? If people are as lonely as I am. So that's a loaded question. He actually framed that with his comment about the Internet Reformation. Don't buy into his crap, kids. I swallow. Whispers break out across the room. I see, and what's your conclusion? Without a doubt. Social media is alienating. Was alienating. I'm glad it's gone. It made me feel out of the loop, like I was missing out. And as if I and what I was doing wasn't good enough. Evidently, it wasn't just me, but that was always my guess, that most people were in the same position as me but were afraid of speaking up. I'm not afraid. There's not a hint of hesitation in her voice. I think we need to change. People are lonely, more lonely than ever before. With the internet gone, even I have lost my means of escape from loneliness. If you ask me, we haven't seen half of what the Reformation has brought. Some people have trouble adapting, and I'm sure many of you will have trouble adapting. In fact, you already are, aren't you? She looks around her, directing the question to everyone listening. I can't believe it. One after another in slow succession, hands are being raised. And as more hands are raised, the faster they're being raised. A few moments later, most people hold out their hand firmly in the air next to them. You're not alone. Wonderful, truly wonderful. Thank you for that, Severine. You're right. I too believe we have quite a few problems to deal with going forward. And that's it for today. Think about what Severine here talked about and see if you can put it to use in your everyday life. Good job on being honest. Honesty is important in sociology. Well then, I'll see you next week. Class dismissed. So, the class lasted all of 5 minutes and he bolted already. Oh jeez, I want my money back. The professor is the first one to get up and exits the classroom. You could have prepared me for that. It wasn't planned. So you say. But really, everything that just happened makes me think. The work that we do now on the side is our chance to make a difference for real. If this can be applied to society as a whole, our people are suffering. A feeling that was once distant has slowly crept up on me. Is it the feeling of doing something just? Of having a purpose? Whichever it is, after hearing Severine's soliloquy, I feel strangely inspired and vindicated. Doing it alongside her, Isabel, and having Grace observe us. As pathetic as it might sound, I feel like I might finally have some sort of purpose. I look up at the sky. It's divided in two. It's a smooth gradient, bright and dark, both blue. Somehow I feel like it represents my recent transition. I used to be all dark and complacent and ignorant. This is all new to me, but I like where things are headed, I think. Want to grab some lunch? Yeah, going to need some refueling before today's lecture. Slept like crap last night, too. Time is ticking. I grab my notebook and pen and shove them down in my bag. Severine's already standing up. Alright. Actually, want to go by Rose's place and see if she'd like to join us? I feel adventurous. Old me never was suggested such a thing. He would have preferred the one-on-one, no distractions or overwhelming social anxiety, but I think I'm finally improving, and it is liberating. Sure. And let's be honest, what she has done for me, no matter how much of a given or insignificant most people perceive it to be, has been a real help in getting out of my old habits. Took me a moment there to reread it to make sure that was making sense. On our way to Rose's place, we found ourselves on an empty bus. For this time of day on a weekday, it's a rarity. Is this bus cursed or something? Do you perchance feel the presence of any malevolent spirits in here? I didn't think you believed in such ungrounded things. I don't, but some do. And maybe you're that type. What about me exactly makes you think that? Well, you're... Actually, forget I asked. The answer is no, I don't sense any evil spirits on this bus. Do you count me? Good. Great. You could have just said that. Now, let's enjoy the rest of the bus ride in silence. It's not often you get an entire bus to yourself. Listening to any more of your yapping would be a shame and a waste of this luxury. Right. Not many minutes, and approximately 0 words spoken later, we arrive at the bus stop closest to Rose's home. Next stop, Azure Hills. Azure Hills. Oh, where's Emerald Hills? Severine knocks on the door. As the last time we were here, Rose responds, but does not immediately open the door. Hello? Who's there? Severine and her dog. I sigh. You ain't got a dog? Oh, I'm already pained. The disappointment when she sees me will shake me to my core. She opens the door, eyes sparkling. Then she takes one look at Severine, then me. She goes from smiling to frowning, and it hurts my soul truly. He's been following me around since he ran into my cafe that one day. Can't seem to shake him off no matter what I do. It's really concerning, honestly. He requires so much care and attention, and to be completely frank, he doesn't seem like the sharpest tool in the shed. Maybe I can apply for some welfare money to compensate me for my voluntary work. Having to take care of a disabled dog sure is mentally and economically taxing, and... Alright, that's enough. Is it? Yes, I think she got your point. Hey, Rose, how are you doing today? Good, usual, not great, not bad. I see you two are having fun today. Nope, just her, like usual. Oh, how your words hurt me. She makes a faint fainting gesture and plays traumatized. Rose giggles. Hey, can I try? Go ahead. Doggy, sit. You want to come along for some burgers? We're on lunch break. Yes, wait, give me a few minutes. Rose closes her door and signals for us to wait. Don't spoil her fun. You mean your fun. Hey, same thing in this case. Exactly, so you mean your fun then. Are you saying I'd make up reasons for justifying playing with you like a dog? I'm hurt, and I would never. You would? You so would. Dogs should be obedient of their masters, remember that. Rose comes out of her apartment seemingly done with whatever she needed to do before leaving. Okay, burgers. I know he's thick-headed, but calling me a burger is totally uncalled for. Okay, you can be the shake. Ice cold, but creamy and delicious. Creamy and delicious, you say? Severine smacks her lips seductively, then blows a kiss in Rose's direction. Whoa. But for real though, I'm so hungry, let's go. Yep, let's. We arrive at the buffoon. It's apparently what it's called, no joke, as much as it may seem like one. Seriously, not the buffalo, but the buffoon. Yeah, just ask the owner himself. Man, if I had known last time we were here, hanging out with a group of middle-aged men at a pub called the Buffoon, I think I would have died on the spot. You were hanging out with middle-aged men here? Well, not really. She brought me here, though. Out of all the places you brought her here? Hey, why not? We needed a place to grab some drinks and have a light snack before the movies. Besides, I come here all the time. It's cheap and they know me. Yeah, and you're also a weirdo. Next time maybe factor that into where you bring people. True, I guess the old men were eyeing us. Not like you noticed or cared. I was weeping on the inside. But I have to say, it wasn't half bad, all things considered. I don't really mind, I guess. It's cozy and like she said, cheap. I'm out of a job, you know, pennies matter. She, on the other hand... Severine rolls her eyes. Not this again. Did you know that her father's a rich businessman? The only reason they're here on In-Ray is because he had business here. He's the whole reason she has an unlimited butter budget each month. Some people sure have it easy, don't you think? What, really? Save, your dad's... you daddy's spoiled little daughter? Enough, whatever. But she's still cheap enough to go here instead of a fancier place. Now that's what I like about her. She sticks to her principles even though she could take the high ground in most things. It's admirable, really. Silence. Severine looks away awkwardly, and Rose freezes up with an expression that tells me she thought that was way too intimate to be shared casually. And she might be right.
Well, that's what I think, so how about some burgers?
Rose giggles. Man, you guys are funny. Sure, let's eat. After a fun meal full of teasing and torment, we're approaching 1 p.m., meaning an afternoon shift to the cafe for Severine. Rose and I see her off at the bus stop. Bye, Save. Thanks for the lunch. Severine had paid for our lunches. I doubt it was a courtesy towards me, but rather towards Rose. Or maybe she was feeling guilty about how I had pointed out her family's rich. But the former seems more likely. We ate briefly, once again touched upon the topic that Rose still doesn't have a job, and thus was running low on money. My guess is that she had taken pity on her. Family aside, Severine herself wasn't exactly short on cash either. In fact, I doubt she's ever been, so having her pay for my meal isn't exactly something I mind. Man, being broke kinda sucks, but you do know what doesn't. We're walking down the short coastline strip with comfortable benches and well-trimmed trees. The ocean is right before us, and it is vast. What's that? Being able to walk around like this, having lunch with friends, and not having to worry about my location being leaked to approximately 5,000 horny stalkers. At first I don't really understand what she's talking about, but it quickly begins to make sense. Rosy cozy streamer. Fans. Hundreds of thousands. Unfathomable. Severine had apparently known her online had known her online name the entire time, and I had managed to get her to tell me. It's hard to believe that's the same Rose standing before me right now. She really is just another girl. There was never any doubt about it to me, but I had gotten to know Rose Jenner, not Rosy Cozy. I think that was for the best for everyone involved. Among her fans, I imagine many put her on a pedestal. They saw her persona, Rosy Cozy, but not the real Rose Jenner. So in this case, I actually feel quite happy about how everything played out. I can imagine. You realize there were DM groups full of people from InRay all ready to let the others know of my location if I was spotted somewhere, right? That was my reality, seriously. Ever since the internet was shut off, nothing. No one's even recognized me. To be fair, I don't go out much, but yeah. I'm sure you'll run into someone eventually. Eventually, yeah. Maybe there's someone in the bushes right now. She looks around frantically with exaggerated expression. But there's no one around, not a single soul. Nah, just us here. Yep, seems like you're right. I keep forgetting you were famous. How dare you make light of my pedigree? Joking, I don't think much of it anymore. There was a time where I was a bit too full of myself, but those stories shall remain in the past. If we ever get internet access, though. If we ever get internet access through state-regulated phones or elsewhere, I know what my first search will be. Wonder how much they'll pay for your location. Hey, I'll have you know I have the police on speed dial. Police, ambulance, and similar government services are still accessible. Not that I've had to use any of them, and I hope not to have to anytime soon. Have you ever had to call them? If I've had to. Not since the internet went down, but before that, absolutely. I don't think you realize the kind of people that are out there. And you should be happy about that. I'd much rather live not knowing, but hey. You know, I've led a life most people would never have the chance to. There are so many stories, good and bad ones. Yeah, I can't begin to imagine. The conversation kind of comes to an end, and we look out over the ocean for a few moments, enjoying the view. Hey, I should get home. I slept like crap and I have some required reading to do later, so I thought I'd take a nap. Blow me off to sleep, huh? It's not personal, I really just need some more sleep. Okay, mister, have a nice nap and see you whenever I decide to revoke your restraining order. Bye-bye. Rose leaves. Before she turned around, I could see a full-fledged smirk on her face. I grabbed the next bus towards Skyward Heights. As always, I check the mailbox. Seems Grace has received a package. I stick it under my arm, go up the elevator, and enter the apartment. The package itself told me Grace isn't home yet, but this proves it. Her shoes aren't here, nor is her handbag. Furthermore, the place is just how I left it this morning. Typically, she leaves a half-drunk glass of water on the counter after she's gotten back from work. InRay's hot this time of year, so there's a habit I should pick up from her. Instead, I open the fridge, crack open a cold, sugar-free soda. This habit of mine is probably killing me, but I can't help myself. Cold, refreshing. I wipe off a drop of sweat that's been lingering around my temple. I turn the can around to read the label. Caffeine, 33 milligram per serving. Guess my nap is done for. I exhale deeply and look around the apartment. On the sofa, I spot something of massive consequences. One of Grace's bras. It's incomprehensibly huge, and I'm instantly annoyed because I've asked her so many times to keep her clothes to her room. I pick it up. It weighs more than my t-shirts. Wonder how much extra weight she carries around every day. My thoughts head in a depraved direction, but before I can make my next move, the outer door opens. Our eyes meet. I don't move a muscle. Then her stare travels towards her bra that I'm still holding out in front of me. A cold sweat instantly breaks out in my neck. The seconds pass. She still hasn't said a word. And the silence makes it all the worse. Just put it down where you picked it up. I'll go outside, then back in, and then we'll pretend this didn't happen. Oh no, you're not getting off the hook that easy. Okay, I really just picked it up because I got annoyed you left your clothes out here again, I swear. Uh-huh. She looks as if she doesn't know whether or not to believe me, but ultimately it doesn't seem she cares too much. Whatever, home early. Still on vacation, remember? We had a seminar, and then we grabbed lunch with Rose. Now I'm here. I was just about to head to bed for a while before you came in. Grace's expression turns stiff as she once again misinterprets me. Bed? Now? With my bra in your hand? Oh, why did I have to word it like that? I'm tired, okay? I was just about to go nap. Nap. You know what? I don't care. You go ahead, go nap. I'm gonna go change and pretend this never happened. She walks over to the kitchen, grabs a glass, fills it from the tap, and gulps it down. Then she walks up to me, snatches her bra out of my hand, and enters her room. I really need that nap now, before I cause irrevocable damage to my relationship with Grace. So that's what I do. I go to my room, then I study, and later on I sleep a full 8 hours. Living with someone of the opposite gender isn't always easy, especially when you're not romantically involved. Lately it seems these types of situations are all the more frequent, however, and not just with Grace. Is this what it's finally come to? After a lifetime of mostly sticking to myself, as my brain enters a state of shock from all the sudden influx of attractive girls around me. Well, things could be worse. Wish my brain would keep its desires to itself, though, and not reveal them to everyone around me at every possible turn. Grace has been on my mind a lot lately. Guess today is proof that somewhere along the line I began to see her as any other woman. As I regain consciousness from a remarkably deep sleep, the first thing I notice is that the apartment smells like bacon. My stomach instantly growls fiercely and my eyes open in a jolt. But the smell is too thin. It can only mean one thing. Grace has left for work and there's no bacon waiting for me. Oh, the pain. Suddenly someone knocks on our door. I sleepily limp over to it. But before I get there, they knock again. It's Severine, and she has run up the stairs. It's evident from her heavy breaths. Good morning. What are you doing here? I found out something important. Oh? She grimaces once more. Take a second to breathe, jeez. I'm not out of shape. The stairs were just many. Yeah, whatever. So, what's so important? They're doing an impromptu state exam in 45 minutes. Wait, what? Apparently there's been a huge demand lately, so they decided to put in a second opportunity to take the exam this year. It was fully booked almost immediately, but I managed to book it for you. Anxiousness. Am I really ready? You ready to go or what? Do I look ready to go? No, but you never do. That's why I'm asking. And what's with your elevator anyway? I waited for several minutes, so if you think I'd run up the stairs voluntarily... Anyway, let's go. I remember what I said. Give them the answers you think they want. Isn't that cheating the system? Well, you want to fail the test again, or what? Gotcha. The answers I think they want, huh? Well, I'm not failing another time, so even if I have to use such methods to pass, I will. Something I've learned about second chances is that you just take them, no questions asked. And once I'm done, I just have to wait for the results again. The next day started with awkward small talk with Grace at the breakfast table. The Freudian slip from 2 days ago was undoubtedly lingering still. Naturally, I'd explain myself the best I could, but there was still the kind of tension in the air that only time can break down. Now, Savory and I were yet again having a lunch break with Rose. We joked around about there being addictive substances in the food served here, because there was really no other possible reason that we'd return here otherwise. But the food had been great once again, and we were all with clear minds. Just as we finished eating, Rose opens her mouth. You know, I've been thinking. We go completely still and direct our attention towards Rose. Why are you looking at me like that? Why, indeed. Maybe we just feel some kind of responsibility for her, thus it's important that we make sure she feels seen. Never mind that. Go on. Well, I have something to admit. Oh great, she's gonna confess her feelings to us now. My curiosity's been piqued, but who doesn't love when someone starts off a sentence that way? I've thought a lot about what I could do with all my free time, different jobs, education, hobbies, nothing really felt right. And I realized why. She takes a deep breath and goes on. The answer was right under my nose this whole time. So here's the thing, yesterday I took the state employee test, and I found out I passed this morning. She did what? She turns a bit red as if embarrassed about her proactivity. Sorry for not saying anything. I was honestly a bit nervous about not passing. So she was there yesterday, in the same exam hall as me. Glad I didn't run into her, that would have been awkward. I should get out of this situation and find out if I passed in the end or not. But Severine's all smiles, and this fact visibly comforts Rose in an instant. Congrats. So you want to be one of us, huh? That's when I realized, yes, I want to help others the way you helped me. That's sweet. Well, I think you'll be a great fit. Congratulations. If that's your calling, you should go for it. It stings I didn't pass on my first try, or maybe not my second either. I'll try to find out today. With that being said, you do realize you'll be partnered with someone else. They team us up in pairs of 2. So it's not like you'll be able to spend all day with us and stuff. I know, like I said, I've already thought about it. I still want to do it, okay? Okay, when Isabel's back, let's go in together. I'll pick you up. Yes, let's go. She's beaming. It's beautiful. But for now, let's enjoy the rest of our vacation. And for you, well, your 275th day of... Like, I'm trying to figure out their significance of that number. Your 275th day of vacation, I suppose. Well, nothing's getting done before she's back. So, have we supposedly been working there for 9 months or something? So, when she's back again? Well, let's see, it's been 4 days, so 3 more until she's back. But that's a Sunday, so 4. We're halfway through our vacation. Already halfway. Time goes by fast, huh? Only if you deactivate your brain. Don't tell me you've deactivated your brain. Just kidding. It's you I'm talking to. Of course you would have. Aha. By the way, want to come by the Lorelei tomorrow? I can use some company. What you'll get out of it, you ask? Well, you'll get to see what a star pastry chef looks like in action, and I'll serve you some of the most dazzling coffee you've ever had. Did you already forget about the fact that's where we met for the first time? So much for making a first impression. Oopsie, you were just that unremarkable. Sorry. Of course I remember, Dummo. Just come tomorrow, okay? I'm kind of excited. Oh yeah, you haven't been there yet, have you? Nope, can't wait now. I can already imagine her waltzing around the kitchen, masterfully tossing dough and mixing batter. She closes her eyes with a blissful look on her face, truly conveying how dreamy she perceives the scene. You might get to see the true Severine in her zen baking state of mind. Not that I've seen it myself. Yes. That's right. Anyway, I want to come shopping. There's a few things I need to pick up. Sure. I conveniently left my credit card at home, though. Severine sighs. I smile. After some shopping with Severine and Rose, I'm beat. I didn't end up getting anything, but I did help carry their oversized bags at the bus stop. See ya. Bye-bye. After Rose is enraged to hear me, I call out to Severine. That sneaky little... Hey now, not her fault that you failed. Want to come with me, see if I passed? I'm sure you did, if you followed my advice. But sure. We get on the next bus toward our university. Apparently they should have the results. 5 minutes until they close the reception. My palms are moist and I feel tense. You passed. But it all just makes victory the sweeter. Congrats. If only you could have done it the first time, you would have saved yourself some embarrassment. Yeah, whatever, now we're equals. Well, I don't know about that. Good night. Good night. Grace beat me home. This has only been happening ever since my vacation started. She's at her desk, reading glasses on, seemingly grading papers. I shouldn't distract her. I settle for a hi and we exchange a smile. Then I grab a sandwich and retreat to my room. These bustling days as of recently have left me feeling like I need some time to myself anyway. I I sit down in my reading chair, pull out a book, and every other page I stare out the window for a few moments. The skies have that pretty purple tint that only dusk can bring forth. My head is empty, even though I'm processing each line of storytelling in my head. Rose pops up in my head, then Grace, then Severine. A second each is all they get. Then I look back at the sky past my window. In my room, in my trusted old room, where I spent countless summer vacations since I moved in with Grace, I become cut off from the rest of the world. In here, everything is what I make it. While I'm here, the outside can be anything. Sometimes it's so quiet here that I doubt we even have neighbors, but I think we do. I see them sometimes in the elevator. When I first moved here, a kind old man even helped Grace and the 12-year-old me move my stuff in. There were boxes all the way to the roof. If I channel the right type of energy, it's as if it was yesterday. If I squint, I see a younger Grace in her favorite summer dress, wiping sweat off her forehead, her hand resting on the wall. Her short hair filters sunlight into it. A pile of boxes towers over her. Exactly a year later, she applied to become my guardian. Above me is a hatch. If I open it, memories will pour out from it. They'd spill everywhere, and then I'd have to clean them up. I don't want to open it. I want to continue to enjoy these cerulean days I've been blessed with. Its seal. I wonder how long it'll last, or until it inevitably breaks. I go back to the sky, then to the book, then to Rose, Grace, and lastly Severine. Split into 4. The sky, the same, the book, all too familiar. Rose, Grace, Severine, 3 separate timelines. 3 wonderful women past me would have cried had I gone to befriend them sooner, as pathetic as it sounds. But the truth is that they made my life bright, and had I met them back then, I think I would have been a brighter person today. Then there's the sky and the book. The familiarity of them is comfortable, no point in denying that. But they're linked to the old me, and the accompanying memories of the past. 4 separate ways of life, 4 futures, 4 possible timelines. Hypothetically, of course. But the possibilities make my head race. Anxiousness is increasing. I can't have them all. I can't see what's in store for me in each separate timeline. At some point, choices will be made, and then that's the path I'll walk. Imagine if I could rewind time or be a third-person observer able to travel through time and space. That'd be something. 4 days of vacation left. I have a feeling they're going to pass by quickly. 4 days, then we'll be back at work. This time with Rose around more often. It'll be fun. Life's fun now. Those are the last thoughts that go through my head before I fall asleep in my reading chair. Philosophical questions on my mind until my consciousness fades.